What's going on, everyone? This is Sonamix, and today I am going to give my review of WWE SmackDown for May 31st, 2013. And overall, I have to say this was a pretty good, solid show, with the exception of two bad matches, which I'll get into that. Well, I guess you could say they were kind of bad, but let me just kind of explain as we go along. But without further ado, let's begin the review of SmackDown. So the night kicks off with Kane versus Seth Rollins. This was an okay type of match. It was pretty slow at first, kind of picked up towards the end. In the end, Kane surprisingly gets the win over Seth Rollins, and I was kind of thinking to myself, now why would they give Kane the victory over Seth, seeing that they're trying to build up the Shield to be this strong, stable faction. But then I would understand why in the next match. So, yeah, pretty slow pace, and Kane picks up the win. And I got some water in case if I cough. I don't know why I keep coughing. I hope I can cure this cough really soon. Anyway, I give the match a 2.25 out of 5. Then the next match was Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. This was a solid, good match. Very good match. Very good pace. Fast pace, as a matter of fact. And Daniel Bryan towards the end on fire with the whole storyline of that he's not the weak link. And with that whole impression that he's not the weak link, it builds up that fire in him. In the end, Daniel Bryan gets disqualified with Kane. Kane basically hits Roman Reigns with an uppercut after Reigns gives a cheap shot. The referee sees it, and at the end, Kane and Daniel Bryan fighting. You can hear Bryan saying that I'm not the weak link. I'm not the weak link. And I actually think they're going to put this in a very good route. I really think that. Well, actually, I'll explain, actually, when we get to the main event. I don't want to spoil it right now, but I'm going to mention it when we get to our main event. But I give the match a 3 out of 5. I thought it was a pretty damn good match. Up next was the Damien Sandow promo. This one was not as good as last week's. This one was kind of more of a troll, again, for Sheamus. So Sheamus comes out, and there's these 3 cups, and you have to pick where is the ball, and I guess this is kind of like a magic / you've been trolled, rickrolled moment, whatever you want to call it, because Sheamus eventually picks up all 3 of the cups. It's not there, so the magic is where it is. Of course, they don't show it. Then Sheamus basically hits Sandow with a bro kick. Very typical. I thought last week's segment with the Sandow cutting the rope, I thought that was much more impressive than this one. So yeah, I enjoyed it, but not as much as the last week one. I give it a 2 out of 5. Up next was a Paul Heyman promo as he's walking out Curtis Axel to the ring. Now, don't get me wrong, this was pretty good for the words that Heyman said and Curtis Axel said, but I don't know, for some reason, it left a bad taste in my mouth when Curtis Axel mentioned that he picked up 2 victories over Triple H and John Cena. Now, technically, yes, he did pick up a victory, but then again, it was a count-out victory, and I'm sorry, a count-out victory doesn't make you look good or weak. It just makes you look like, okay, I got a count-out. Whoop-de-doo, whatever. I guess I'm going to go home for the day. I guess I can't feel excited over it. So, I don't know. I don't understand why they couldn't just give Curtis Axel the clean win on Triple H and John Cena, but I guess it's the whole Vince McMahon thing. We can't push a young guy like him to beat John Cena. So, I'm hoping that they don't continue with this if he's going to face big superstars like Cena or Triple H, because if he does, it's going to make the character look weak, and that's not what I want to see out of Curtis Axel. So, like I said, it was a good promo, but I don't know, it just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I give it a 2.5 out of 5. Then we get into the match. Curtis Axel versus Sin Cara once again from last week. Not as good as their last week match. This one went on for about, I think it was like 3-4 minutes-ish, somewhat. And they tried to have a good match. I mean, it was a good pace for the 3-4 minutes that they were given, but it was only a 4-minute match, so you can't really say it was a good match. Maybe for the pace it was, yes, but not the match itself. I give it a star point 75 out of 5. Can't give it a 2. As I cough. Up next was Alberto Del Rio versus Big E Langston for like the 5th time. I think it's like the 5th time now, or 4th time. And it's the same thing. I'm just repeating myself. This is basically a rerun from Raw review and last week, and even the Raw review before that. I've basically been repeating myself. This was a 5-minute match, good pace, good strength by Big E Langston, and it's a 2-star match. I'm not even going to get into it because I'm just repeating myself. If this match was about 10 minutes, then maybe I can get into details, but this has been the same thing. This has been the exact same thing. 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 2-star match. Every single one of them has been a 2-star match. And it's been a good pace. They've had a good fast pace. But with the time they're given, they're able to pull off a nice 2-star match. But I've just been repeating myself with this match. So what's the point? Up next was Ryback versus Kofi Kingston. This was a more of a squash comeback. What I mean by that is Kofi Kingston was on fire. He was beating up on Ryback. Ryback was almost going to stand no chance. But then, of course, Ryback makes this second win comeback and basically just demolished Kofi Kingston with 3 moves, and that was it. However, I did like the ending, how Ryback brought the tables out and actually put Kofi Kingston through a table not once, not twice, but 3 times. Which I don't think I've never seen that before. So it was kind of definitely something new for a change. Because usually they just slam somebody through a table and they walk away. But no, this time it was 3 tables. So it was kind of interesting. I will give it that. But I do give it a 1.5 stars. Maybe a 1.75 stars, just for the fact of the ending. Up next was the Chris Jericho backstage segment. I actually thought this was kind of weak on Jericho's part, especially at the end when he mentioned the Bob Barker quote. I forgot how it goes. Take care of your pets and whatever Bob Barker says. I forgot what he used to say about the whole pet control thing at the end of The Price is Right when he was still The Price is Right host. So, I don't know. I felt that this backstage was a little bit on the weak side, especially for Chris Jericho backstage. I think it could have been a lot better. I give it a 1.75 stars out of 5. Up next was Chris Jericho versus Cody Rhodes. For the pace that this match went, it was only a 4-minute match. And actually, this was kind of the big disappointment. This was the big disappointing match of the night, because I was expecting at least a 10-minute match. Because I know Cody can go 10 minutes plus, and I thought they were going to give these guys 10 minutes, but no, instead they give them about 4 minutes. I give it a 2 out of 5. I was very disappointed with the amount of time that they gave for these two. And then finally, the main event, Randy Orton versus Dean Ambrose. This was a solid, good match. It was very slow pace at times, but then it did pick up pretty much at the halfway point of the match. In the end, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns come out. They get another DQ win again. And then Daniel Bryan and Kane comes out. And all of a sudden, Daniel Bryan, one-man army, takes out all of the Shield members. and the crowd went nuts. And Daniel Bryan actually started to go, yes, yes, yes. And everyone was up on their feet chanting, yes, yes, yes. And got this big, huge pop for Daniel Bryan. An amazing pop, for that matter, as a matter of fact. And what I was going to mention with the Daniel Bryan was this. I think if I had to predict where this story is going to go, he's going to think that he's the weak link for maybe the next month or two, maybe 3 months at most. And what's going to happen is he's going to maybe be on this little bit of a losing streak and then start making these victory wins and maybe start making some comeback wins where he's getting beat up and then all of a sudden he's going to make a comeback and then he's going to get into the title picture and then whoever is the champion thinks that he's the weak link and he's not going to be champion again because all he's going to be looked at as this goat face psychiatric person. And what's going to happen is he's going to face the World Heavyweight Champion or the WWE Champion, shave his beard off. Yes, I am going to say he will shave his beard off and become the WWE Champion or World Heavyweight Champion. I hope, as a matter of fact, this leads into a WWE Championship picture, and if so, that will definitely put him over big time. So I'm hoping this would somehow, some way lead to the WWE Championship side than the World Heavyweight Championship side. But either way, if I can predict that right, I think Daniel Bryan will be very, very over. And he definitely needs to be a face and to have single competitive matches. I give it a 3-star. If it wasn't for that ending, I probably would have given it maybe a 2.5, 2.75. But just for that ending, I'm giving this a 3 out of 5. Alright, well that was my review of WWE SmackDown. My overall review, I give it a solid 6. I think this was definitely a 6 out of 10 show. So, this week, Raw got 6, SmackDown got 6. So, enjoyable show on both ends. God, I hope the next video I do, I hope I don't have to cough like this. And once again, I apologize if I'm coughing. I know I've been coughing, and also in the Raw review I did in another video that I've done. So I apologize. I hope I could clear this throat somehow, or somehow take a cough drop, and maybe it'll fix itself like that. So anyway, 6 out of 10, enjoyable show. Alright, once again, this was my review of WWE SmackDown. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please do leave your comments on the bottom of this video. Tell me how you guys thought of SmackDown for May 31st, 2013. And until then, this is Silent Mix saying you guys have a good night, and I'll catch you guys later.